Mazin and Dadina. Don't forget to subscribe. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear brothers and sisters. Do you love to listen to stories? Then you're in the right place, because today I will be reading the story about the Sabbath. This story is mentioned in the Qur'an in Surah Al-Aaraaf from ayah 163 to ayah number 166. Let me recite these beautiful verses to you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واسألهم عن القرية التي كانت حاضرة البحر إذ يعدون في السبت إذ تأتيهم حيتانهم يوم سبتهم شرعا ويوم لا يسبتون لا تأتيهم كذلك نبلوهم بما كانوا يفسقون وإذ قالت أمة منهم لم تعظون قوما الله مهلكهم أو معذبهم عذابا شديدا قالوا معذرة إلى ربكم ولعلهم يتقون فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به أنجينا الذين ينهون عن السوء وأخذنا الذين ظلموا بعذاب بئيس بما كانوا يفسقون فلما عتوا عما نهوا عنه قلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين. Let's begin reading. This story relates to a small fishing community of Bani Israel. During this time, because of their continuous disobedience, the stubbornness, Allah decreed many rules against them as a punishment for their rebellious behavior, but also as a means to forgive their sins if they followed it. One of these rules was the observance of the Sabbath, Saturday. When Bani Israel was completely forbidden from doing any work for this fishing village, it meant that they were not allowed to fish on Saturdays. This rule was particularly difficult to obey because by the power of Allah, the seas in which they fished did not show any fish for 6 days of the week. But on every Saturday, all types of fish would appear in the same sea, and were so many that they could even be seen playing at the surface. On all other days, the same fish would vanish, and the fishermen would come back empty-handed. The appearance of the plentiful fish was a trial from Allah to test their faith, obedience, and patience. This greatly frustrated the fishermen. They could not be patient with the Sabbath any longer, but at the same time, they did not want to completely disobey Allah. Therefore, they came up with a plan to fool around Allah's order. They would lay out their fishing traps on Fridays, and the fish that visited on Saturdays were caught on the traps on Sundays. The fishermen would collect the fish. In doing so, they deliberately disobeyed Allah even if they did not go out to do fishing on Saturdays. The fish, in fact, was still caught on Saturdays because of their trickery. They knew that they were disobeying Allah. Allah tried them this test so He could forgive them their sins if they obeyed Him regarding Sabbath. However, they were impatient and failed the test. The rest of the villagers who did not participate in the disobedience to Allah were divided into two groups. The first group tried to stop the actions and warn the sinning people to correct their ways before the punishment Allah fell upon them. The second remained silent while others were doing evil. They did nothing to stop the wrongdoers. They allowed the disobedience to continue, even though they did not participate in such a wrongdoing. They also disapproved of the first group's actions. The ones that tried to stop the wrong, asking, "Why do you preach to a people whom Allah is about to destroy or to punish with a severe torment?" Meaning, why bother correcting these people as Allah will punish them anyway? The first group knew that if they did not try to stop the wrong that were openly doing, then the punishment of Allah would come upon the whole community and not just one of the wrongdoers. They wanted to clearly turn themselves away from the disobedient actions of the others and realized that seeing evil and not doing anything about it would not be enough to save them from the punishment of Allah. Week after week, the disobedient fishermen continued to disobey Allah's order, bringing with them an abundant fish from the sea. Allah finally punished them with a unique punishment by turning them into monkeys. Wow, that was a beautiful story from the Qur'an. Now it's question time. Why do you think that plenty of fish would appear on Saturdays and not other days? It is a trial from Allah to forgive their sins if they succeed. How were the Bani Israel trying to trick Allah and why? They were trying to trick Allah by putting the fishing nets on Fridays, and the fish would be caught on Saturdays, and they would take the fish on Sundays. And why were they? Because only on Saturdays the fish would appear, and in other days they did not appear. So the fishermen were hungry. Why should Muslims never trick Allah or other people? Because you will lose sins. Why can Allah be never tricked? Think of some of His names. Because He's the As-Samir and Al-Basir, the all-seeing and the all-hearing. What should a Muslim do when obeying Allah becomes difficult? To be patient and ask dua. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever sees an evil must change it with his hands. If he is not able to do so, then he must change it with his tongue. And if he is not able to do so, then he must change it with his heart, by hating the evil in his heart. And that is how the slightest effect of faith. What should Muslims do when they see others disobeying Allah openly? They should try to stop them by their hands, and if they're not able to do so, then by their tongue, and even if that's not able, then they have to do it by their heart, by hating it. Why is stopping others from evil important? Because you will get rewards, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did so. I hope you enjoyed. There are more activities that you can do. You just need to go to the description and print out. The link will be in the description. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'll see you next time. Bye.